Now, Eyewitness Sports.
Welcome to Double OT with Ruthie Polinsky. I'm Yanni Karakis, back and in person. How we doing?
Great.
Just did some big game bound coverage. How'd
Pittsburgh
that feel?
week.
Pittsburgh week. Yeah, nice of you to wear their colors. What is that, gold you got over there?
I always do that, and you always call me out on it, and it's not on purpose.
It's just a fall, what is
Just a
that?
fall mustard.
Burnt orange yellow?
Mustard.
Yeah, Dijon.
Dijon.
All right, let's
Okay.
start with the Pats and the Steelers. A big game. The Steelers are desperate. They've lost 3 in a row. The Pats need this to get their bye, which we'll talk about in a second. How does this one go down, do you think?
I think the Patriots win it. I think the Steelers are in a little bit of chaos, panic mode. Things aren't going their way. Big Ben obviously gets hurt in the last game, comes back in, they still lose the game. The kicker is a mess. It's just like nothing really seems to be going the Steelers' way, and I think the Patriots are the perfect organization to take advantage of that, not to mention the Patriots are coming off that heartbreaking loss that they're going to bounce back after that. So the Patriots really have it all set out for them if they can just win this game in Pittsburgh. It seems like we just talked about, but with Buffalo and then the Jets, I mean, if you beat the Steelers, you're pretty much set for the playoffs.
Yeah, so I don't love the fact that the Steelers are coming in desperate.
Right.
Because a team of their talent, can they lose 4 games in a row? Yes, but they're sort of due. Mm-hmm. That being said, obviously, their running back is hurt, the quarterback is hurt, but Ben Roethlisberger has 9 lives. He just won't die. He's going to have like a cast and like a crutch and still be out there slinging it, being chubby and just like somehow getting it done.
I love what Gresh said this week earlier. He was like, and he loves to play it up,
Yeah,
that he's
he plays
injured.
it up.
He loves to play it up that he's
Limping to the
injured, and then he
sideline.
throws for 700 yards. So it's just going to be like exactly the way it should be. And I will say that environment is insane, but that hasn't been, when I was at that game last year, that was one of the coolest sporting events I've ever been to ever, because there's not a single Patriots fan there.
Yeah.
I mean, it is just
ugly
Steeler
yellow towels.
Mustard. So the Patriots, I think history doesn't lie, right? I mean, the Patriots have had their success against the Steelers.
They're not afraid. I think they have a huge coaching advantage. Bill Belichick runs circles around Mike Tomlin,
Right.
and as you mentioned, a little bit of their dysfunction with the trainer and Big Ben leaving and coming back in, and then it's like they got rid of Le'Veon Bell and they still have like sort of headaches and locker room issues. It never feels like it's easy in Pittsburgh.
Right.
And there's some rumors that maybe Tomlin's at the end of the line here. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I'm worried about Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm worried about Antonio Brown.
One of my favorite football players to watch,
those
just
guys
in general.
are so fast. The Patriots don't have a whole lot of speed in the secondary.
Right.
We've seen them get toasted fairly recently on maybe not like over the top 80-yard bombs, but some of those like post routes and the guys go the distance. But I think they respond well to the Dolphins' loss. They are too mentally tough of a team, or if they sort of have the fabric of former Patriot teams to rebound. I'm sure Bill Belichick was hellish this week in Foxborough. I think they come back here, and I think it'll be pretty high scoring because I like the Steelers scoring a lot. The Patriots' defense is Jekyll and Hyde. It's been awful on the road, so I expect them to give up some points but score more than
I think the James Conner storyline is really interesting to follow too, because he's not ruled out. He didn't practice on Wednesday, so is he going to be able to come back on Sunday? Mike Tomlin didn't rule him out earlier in the week, but if he is he really ready? Are they going to force him back for this game? Because some might think save him because you really are going to need him for the playoffs if you get it there. So I think that's kind of an interesting storyline to follow, because it would be very Steelers-like, in my opinion, to rush him back for the Patriots game and him not be himself and not be effective.
And something we should mention, the Patriots offense, other than Brady's no timeout snafu, Gronk looked great, Edelman looked good, Josh Gordon looked good. I feel like the offense through the passing game is starting to come together a lot here in week 15.
CP.
Cordero.
The experiment.
He's okay.
He's all right. He's helpful.
What do we got next?
Oh, I'm the next question. Okay, do the Patriots need a bye? I like your stat that you always use. The Patriots have never gotten to the Super Bowl without a bye.
Yeah, I think the Patriots are pretty big front runners. Yeah. They haven't won a road playoff game since the 2006 season at the then San Diego Chargers.
That's crazy.
They like being home. They stay in New England. It's cold. They don't leave. They host the AFC Championship game. It's not by accident that they lost to the Broncos twice in the AFC Championship game. Not to say they couldn't go to Kansas City and win in an AFC Championship game, but to win the Super Bowl, I think they do need a bye. Wild card weekend means you play one extra game. It means you guys are more banged up. It means you don't have that extra week of rest. And it means, the wild card teams, it's probably going to be Baltimore and then either Kansas City or LA Chargers. Those are pretty good teams. I'm not buying into Baltimore, but like maybe one of them gives you a tough game, right? And then you're going on the road the next week. So I don't like that route for them to get to the Super Bowl. So yeah, they need a bye if they want to achieve their ultimate goal.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think the Patriots, the way they've been playing on the road this year, is very discouraging. But at the same time, you look at the Patriots' health, and they're the healthiest team in the entire NFL right now. The only team that had perfect attendance on Wednesday, other than the Patriots, were the LA Rams. So I think that that's really promising, and in that sense, the Patriots relatively aren't banged up, but you do have guys like Gronk who's battling through stuff every week, it seems like.
And they're managing his reps, so it's like you're managing it so he gets the rest.
Exactly. So I think in that sense, just to have that rest and to be able to play at home, the Patriots want to win as many games here down the stretch.
All right, so we agree on that one.
Yeah.
All right, what are we talking about next? Some Red Sox. All right.
I love that we talk about Red Sox year-round.
Joe Kelly signing with the Dodgers.
I'm sad about that. I'm not sad. I get it. I understand it. But I was living in St. Louis, a huge Cardinals fan, when we had him as a starter, and then they lose to the Red Sox in the World Series, and then he goes to the Red Sox. So it's the second time that I've had to say goodbye.
So he keeps sleeping with the enemy.
He sleeps with the enemy. But he's a great fiery guy that I think that, the fight this year with the Yankees was
the fight with the Yankees was huge.
That was great. During the regular season, he was not great, but during the playoffs,
he was terrible in the regular season. He was great in the playoffs.
Loved him in the playoffs.
Can you trust someone like that? I mean,
is he worth the money that the Dodgers are paying him?
Probably not.
Probably not.
He and Nathan Eovaldi made a ton of money for themselves by having great Octobers.
Yeah.
The Red Sox bid on Eovaldi because he has great stuff, and if he can remain healthy, they hope he can replicate that. Joe Kelly was with the Paw Sox a couple years ago. I mean, he's been so up and down. He has electric stuff, but can he maintain it?
He's a clubhouse guy.
If they gave him that and made them their closer, I wouldn't have hated it. I don't love the idea that they don't have a closer right now because we just assume Kimbrel is gone.
Right.
I'm not a closer by committee guy. Maybe they think someone emerges or Brazier fills that role. I don't know who. So as for their offseason, then the other storyline, Mookie Betts moving to the 2-hole. This seems to benefit Mookie Betts as he approaches free agency, boosts his power numbers. But it also helps the Red Sox. If you think about it, how many solo home runs did he have last year? Because JBJ's batting 9th and he's leading off the game.
Right.
He had a ton of leadoff home runs. So the numbers tell you if someone's on base when Mookie's up, that's better than when no one is on base.
Right.
So I'm okay with that in the 2-hole. And I guess Benintendi is going to be at the top of the lineup. So by and large, I think the offseason has been what we expected. I'm glad they got Eovaldi. I'm not going to lose a lot of sleep about Joe Kelly, and I assume that Kimbrel is gone. Obviously, they're not going to dip their toes into the Bryce Harper or any of those waters based on so many guys having big salaries coming up here. But they're pretty much, it's rare for a team to bring back a team the following year after winning a World Series that's by and large intact.
Yeah.
From 07 to 08, the Red Sox pretty much kept their core. 04 to 05, they lost a lot of guys. And 13 to 14, they were a last place team after winning the World Series. So this feels like they're all in on like repeating.
Yeah, I'm all in on any lineup change that Alex Cora wants to make. Go for it,
in
pal.
Alex, you trust.
Just in Alex, how could you not?
Is Dustin Pedroia going to be an impact player next year?
So I haven't been in New England when Dustin Pedroia played baseball.
Was last year your first season or 2 years?
Last year, 2 years ago was my first season.
What happened with him 2 years ago? Was he not playing?
Wasn't he in it?
Or was he out for the year and then he didn't come back?
I don't remember. I just feel like
he just hasn't been good since
I haven't seen Dustin Pedroia play baseball in any way that has moved the needle for me.
Yeah. Well, he's been hurt and he's getting old, so I think the days of Pedroia being an impact player are off. All right, we have a couple more minutes left.
Okay.
What do we got?
College hoops update. Okay, breaking news this week. Kind of out of the blue, we hear that 3-time Big East Freshman of the Week, AJ Reeves, is out 4 to 6 weeks with an injured foot. 4 to 6 weeks sounds broken to me. I don't know. We don't have a lot of details. I'm not a doctor. But
doesn't sound good.
But it doesn't sound good. And 4 to 6 weeks is a long time right now. Especially like this is a bad time for him to be gone when he's campaigning in the lead for Big East Freshman of the Year.
Right.
I mean, he was a huge impact guy for the Friars when no one was hitting shots, he was. So he's a huge three-point threat, which I think is really going to hurt them a lot. But at the same time, he is also in this stage right now with the Friars where he's learning a lot. And Ed Cooley has been talking about his young team and how he's got to teach these guys defense. And this is a key time before Big East play that you can learn these tough defenses and how to defend these teams before you get into conference play and you're playing teams that you need to beat, like the Villanovas and the Creightons, who they play the first 2 games of Big East Conference or Big East Conference schedule. So I'm upset for the Friars. I'm upset for AJ Reeves because I think this is gonna not only hurt the team, but it's gonna hurt him as a development kind of player because you need him. You need him right now.
He was rolling. Tough week for PC. They blow a lead to UMass, uncharacteristically, uncalled for. Ed Cooley was not happy after that, at home up 20. It stinks for him. He was getting better and better and was college hoops ready. You put him in as a freshman, he belonged.
Right.
You know, he was hitting huge shots, one of 3 freshmen with Nichols and David Duke to start for PC, so that brings them back. The Big East is down this year. I don't think anyone knows how it's going to play out. Villanova loses to Penn the other day. Like, what's going on in this conference, right? So you figure you finish in the top 3, 4, 5, you're going to be fine getting into the tournament. As for the rest of the schools, URI's got a big one against West Virginia. They looked good against Holy Cross. If they can get their shots to fall, and Coach Cox was saying, you know, when they were shooting abysmal percentage, they weren't shooting the right shots. So I don't know if they're just magically going to be shooting them better or they're just consciously taking better shots, but we'll get a good litmus test from them. And then I think Brown's been better than we expected.
I'm excited about Brown,
which is a nice win. And Bryant, you know, it's growing pains, right? You know, Jared Grasslow's doing a good job, but they're pretty much starting from scratch. Those guys are playing hard. What
I think is really cool about Bryant is just seeing the way that the guys are playing, and it feels like they're really bought into the Grasso system, which I think is exciting. And I think give them a couple years, they're going to be finishing the top of that league, and that's going to be really exciting to see. But I do want to touch on because you just like cruise through everything. I know we're tight on time here, but with Rhode Island, finding those open shots, I really want to see. That kind of has to do with that offense and finding where those guys fit in well. Cyril, you're doing a great. Cyril Langevin, the big guy, knows how to rebound. He knows how to put it back up there, and he's killing the boards. So that's going to be really
and they play good defense.
Key. And they play great defense. That's the Dan Hurley system kind of carrying through, which I love. But finding the rhythm between Jeff and Fats is really key, and getting those guys into positions where they can make open shots. And then, of course, there's the adjustment for the younger freshmen that are going to be good.
There you go. All right, that'll do it for the latest OOT with Ruth Bader Ginsburg, a judge of several decades.
And a legend.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.